Good afternoon and welcome to Asset Management Systems presentation. Today I will talk about components of digital transformation and the target operating model for 2030 and beyond. The presentation will last approximately 30 minutes, so please relax, grab a cup of tea and tune in. It is important that you are comfortable and in a listening mode. If any questions spring to mind, please do put them in the chat or reach out after the session. During the presentation, I will reverse engineer the target operating model solution. At the last slide, I will talk about benefits realization to ensure you can build in your mind the bigger picture and the rapid transformation system for getting there. I would also like to encourage you to join Rapid Transformation Hub, where we will answer your questions from the session. I will be sending out invites via LinkedIn on Tuesday next week, so you should have them in your notifications on Tuesday. I would like to take the opportunity and introduce myself. I'm Gosha, CEO and founder of Asset Management Systems, consultancy with a purpose to support organizations and businesses to succeed on the journey of digital transformation. My background is in design, and I still do think about myself as a designer and an architect. However, over the last 15 years, having had the opportunity to work across industries of real estate, facilities and asset management, as well as manufacturing, construction and infrastructure, I very much appreciate that the solutions and target operating models are designed these days are much more than building buildings. It is design of business architecture and delivery models than anything else. You might be wondering why focus on digital transformation. Having had the unique experience of different sectors and working in the space of change and transformation, I have learned the hard way why 70% of all change-related programs fail in asset-focused organizations. I do not know about you, but I can't stand watching people being damaged, suffering emotionally, and losing a sense of purpose. And you know what? We can do so much better. The fact is that 70% of transformation efforts fail due to neglect of human factors, lack of target operating model, and structured approach to integration. If we miss a bit in the human emotional cycle, the workforce will go out of sync, you will build up resistance to change, and create an army that will sabotage all your efforts just to manage their body budget. Which brings me to the first pillar of the digital transformation, people. I have been at the receiving end, supporting and delivering change, and in recent years in a position to develop transformation solutions and implementing them. I have observed the same thing happening over and over again, the same three key aspects stopping organizations from transforming. First, people could not see the future and where they were going, or they have lost the ability to question what was happening around them. Second, the workforce did not have enough useful knowledge and skills to prototype the new reality on the go and cope emotionally with the uncertainty of change without a clear vision and direction of travel. Third aspect is that organizations were restructuring at the same time, which meant more uncertainty, increased fear factor, and breaching basic human need for safety and security. If you are not careful, these three aspects will derail any digital transformation efforts, in particular when digital technologies come into play with new concepts of transparency, visibility, and accountability. These are biological and evolutionary reasons why we should do our best to work around human factors. So here it is. Our brain creates and predicts our experience based on past knowledge. What you need to know is that yours, mine, and everyone else's brain does a quick and dirty assessment of everything that is happening around and responds to the environment much quicker than the logical brain. If there is no previous data and information, we will be suffering emotional blindness until we build our database and get familiar with it. In context of transformation, if there is no vision or active way of participating in building it, the human brain will be experientially blind because there is no data and information to build upon. A decade of neuroscience research shows that the rapid mode of perception sacrifices accuracy for speed and prioritizes survival. The awareness and thinking process take much longer and require for us to be in a safe, comfortable place. And so starting transformation from a blank page, suffering experiential blindness, and feeling anxious about our future can push any human being out of their logical thinking and self-actualization that are essential for people to adapt to change. The brain region called prefrontal cortex is implicated in breaking down complexity, planning, decision-making, and moderating our emotions. In order to absorb transformational change, we need to keep that level of self-awareness going to ensure that the workforce primary needs of safety and security are met. Otherwise, everyone gets pushed into the state of fear, where our brain disables the prefrontal cortex, goes into survival mode to maintain body budget. This is when change stops and everyone gets tired, upset, everything is hard work, low mood kicks in, and you just can't get moving. Second brain factor, and that's the last one, we'll be moving to tech on the next few slides, is this. We categorize our world around us with concepts. Everything we experience is a representation of social and cultural concepts developed over the years. The brain is using these concepts to categorize sensory inputs like sound, noise, or light. Without the concepts, we would be permanently experientially blind. If we do not rethink our concepts and values throughout the transformation, our brain will be recreating our past experiences over and over again, and that's without even being in the survival mode. So here is the crux. We could start to experience a world of our own construction, especially if we have participated in building the future vision. To rethink and break down concepts, we need to become good thinkers. It is a transformation key survival skill. Rethinking concepts like environmental impact and net zero, UN sustainability goals is only possible with applying different thinking styles. So creative thinking will help you to come up with possible solutions and new ideas. Critical thinking will help you decide which of these ideas have most merit to be implemented. Problem solving and analytical thinking will build confidence in identifying what the problem is in the first place. In combination with analytical thinking, you can solve problems quickly and effectively using logic and accuracy. It is important to start with a calm and open mind and do not accept the first impressions. This will give you emotional and logical mind time to integrate. So remember, concepts and feelings first, logic and analysis second. I hope after the brain facts, you would appreciate this slide. That's what happens typically with transformation efforts, where 70% of them fail. The key to transformation success is to have an interim stage where vision, concept rethink, and design of target operating model take place. It is difficult to succeed in adapting to change and implementing cutting-edge technology without addressing the human factors. It's good sometimes to reach out for inspirations and examples outside of our industries. I am a great fan of space exploration, and I'm sure a lot of you have followed to some extent mission to the moon, Mars and planets, and for human colony in space by 2030. NASA is one of these organizations that take their vision very seriously. But the reason I'm mentioning space explorations is because it's a great example of how our concepts and technology work together. The first mission to space was done in a tin-foiled wooden barrel with scaffolding fixed to it, and our knowledge, data, and information about space has been limited. The first calculations have been made with chalk on blackboard. Second phase of exploration has been based on better knowledge resulting from data and information and the technology to get us further advanced. We needed more computer power to process information for decision making. We gathered more sample of space to analyze. That created more data to interpret, and to build a colony in space, we will be widening our knowledge again, and therefore concepts. This time, we will have even more data, and our understanding will change again. The understanding of our impact on the planet has changed a lot, and we are much more environmentally aware. We consider and we are willing to contribute to UN sustainable goals, and we need to address these concepts through technology and the information that comes with it. This could mean taking ownership of the full life cycle of our assets and introduce circular economy processes by building real estate ecosystems or resource banks that reuse and repurpose building materials. Finance, facilities, and asset management are also going through a renaissance and rethink of concept of value. With high cost of raising capital for construction projects, an unknown return on investment, new way of thinking started to emerge. This is the space where concept of value and values meet technology. In the past, we were unable to compile data and information across all stages of life cycle, or to design data sets that will tell us about CO2 emissions from each piece of equipment, as well as its wear and tear, cost of replacement, cost of risk if we maintain it. Now with cutting-edge technology, we can build information data sets that can tell us how organizations deliver social value, calculate total cost of ownership, manage properties, environmental performance in real time, which I will demonstrate in next slide and show you the digital twin model. So match technology to your concepts and goals to get the best value from your investment. Do not go into space without key thinking styles and NASA-style base crew to put you back on track, even if it is with a pair of socks, as Tom Hanks has found out in one of the Apollo mission movies. So as promised, I will load in a second a real-time digital twin model to show you how it could transform your day-to-day operations. The model is courtesy of one of our ecosystem partners, Digital Twinning Australia. To get the concepts in place, a digital twin is a digital replica of an actual physical asset with attached functional data and information for making informed decisions. It contains information about locations, systems, and devices, replicating physical equipment in 3D environment. Digital twin can represent machinery or the whole plant in conjunction with the real-time monitoring dashboards as asset performance and condition. Okay, let's have a look at the digital twin technology in action. As there is more need to track and manage assets performance to achieve net zero and reduction in fossil fuel consumption, it becomes more prevalent to focus on the asset data throughout the entire life cycle to ensure consistent outputs. Dynamic digital twin is therefore a virtual replica of an actual asset that allows organizations to leverage decisions based on data that affect almost every aspect of their customers and their own businesses. What you see on the left-hand side is a digital twin model of a school in Adelaide. On the right-hand side, you can see the real-time performance data from IoT sensors showing the amount of energy generated by solar panels located on the roof of the building. The model gives us ability to look at the data in different frequencies and time intervals. I'm going to zoom into the roof of the building where solar panels are located to show you how the IoT data input changes. The idea being that once we select an asset, and in this case it's going to be one of the solar panels on the roof, a real-time data flow will allow us to see on the right-hand side in the window the change in the data flow. The real-time asset performance data enables us to make informed decisions. For example, if we want to change the internal environment conditions or further drill down into equipment output or focus on group of panels and the outputs holistically. That way, we can look into meaningful analysis by showing how a company's assets performance stacks up against the net zero targets or where the parameters are outside of the threshold. All the thresholds we can preset when we load and start using digital twin. Should we decide to take action and adjust asset output or configuration, we can use the digital twin as a visual help desk as well. On the remaining tabs, we can investigate the asset history, check O&Ms, and construction handover information. If there are any issues with the panel or any other equipment on that matter, we can use the digital twin integration with finance and procurement systems to book engineer to attend the site. If we use the digital twin as a virtual help desk, we create a single source of truth environment where help desk staff, engineers, and management team look at the same input data in real time. That cuts down the time to investigate faults. Assets can be reset from help desk remotely. And should there be a requirement for a site visit, we can actually buy parts in advance from the procurement tab by selecting the right supplier. This opens up opportunities for greater coordination and collaboration, increased efficiency and accuracy. So for example, let's say that we receive a call from the customer to the virtual help desk. It's too cold, too hot, or heating is not working at all. Then what we can do, in the model browser, we can look into each asset individually. So mechanical, for example. As you can see, a number of mechanical equipment assets has appeared within the model. And by selecting it, we will see the asset performance chart loading on the right-hand side again. So once I zoom in, we can perhaps pick one of the aircon units in the model. And in the Performance tab, we will start to have the charts loading. Firstly, by being able to pick the asset in the right location that's been specified by the customer calling to the help desk, it gives us an indication first if the asset is working. We can further look into the root cause analysis and fault finding virtually, or actually send someone to site. Often we would be able to adjust parameters remotely and only visit the site should the hardware need actually changing. Similar with the solar panels, the threshold and the output that they can give us indication of how much CO2 is being generated per asset can be set really at the beginning of the model when the site goes live in the process of going from construction to operations. So to summarize, the digital twin can assist us with capture of accurate real-time information available to all stakeholders as a single source of truth to make collaborative decisions. Gathering data and information with IoT can save time, money, and CO2 emissions by enabling us to remotely look into the digital twin dashboards and investigate faults virtually or on site should it be required. This leads to a further reduction in time, especially in terms of administrative tasks. So when we look at one single item, we can actually look at the whole system. So in this case, we can further look at the main plant that supports that one unit, which we can see here on the back. So we're not only reducing the administrative tasks and investigating the model remotely, this also enables us to focus on predictive maintenance combined with advanced analytics to explore different scenarios. So we can, for example, click at the other asset and see how the main plant is functioning in relationship to individual unit. So in case of this model, we can investigate not only individual items, but also the system and each individual item of the whole system. And so I will now zoom out and show you the model from a distance again. I'll be moving into a next stage of the presentation that will follow then via the slides. What ties concepts, technology, and decisions together are business processes. This is especially visible between finance, facilities, and asset management, where purchase orders and work orders do not always match. This is often due to organizational silos and departments, contract providers, and all the miscommunication between different parts of the companies, creating black holes of data, information, decisions, and actions. So processes are key components of target operating model, also known as TOM. A good TOM should have key components and maximum 30 processes that enable anyone in the organization to track down points of failure in the process. For continuity, all processes must loop back to the next stage. A TOM role is to consolidate relationships through business processes between organizational departments and the supply chain, and to align the commercial contracts obligations and internal JDs. What gels the TOM together is the vision, concepts, and goals that everyone is aiming towards, bonded by technology, data, and information. The TOM processes should not be designed with current as-is delivery structure in mind. TOM reflects the future state, known as to be, and a vision in the form of images and process maps. This should be focusing on decisions that move actions through the organization. Having a stakeholder matrix behind embraces collaboration. The more colorful the vision and the process maps, the better. So pick shapes, forms, symbols, make it visually attractive. Color code tasks so people can easily identify different aspects of the process. Say no to boring swim lanes, let people learn the process code. At AMS, we have developed a rapid transformation system that streamlines all transformational activities until the benefits can be realized. We are a great believer in transferring knowledge where organizations do the work, and we provide at each stage handouts, templates, guidance, and advice. It's like learning to cycle with stabilizers. So the 5 steps are business diagnostics. This can be done with AI process mining to get the razor blade sharp view of your business processes in action in real time. This is not essential stage. However, it can help to identify as-is and the starting position very early on and the scale of the transformation challenge. Target operating model, you know everything about it. It's building your vision, value proposition, and business processes bonded by technology, data, and information, leading to the business case for transformation. Integration roadmap. This is the beginning of developing transformation programs, structuring workflows, identifying dependencies, impact on the current business, selecting the team, procuring scope of service, and integrating the new solution into the business as usual, taking human factors into consideration. That's the stage where most of transformation efforts need to go into. And we will not rush you into any integration until you're ready to go. Steady state is when the integration program has been embedded, meaning the business has the ability to streamline vision and goals through the business processes and technology to deliver desired outputs that form part of benefits realization program. The best way to get started is to develop the vision and target operating model solution. This can be done remotely outside of the main operations and engage hundreds of people by using communication technology like surveys, Zoom, digital whiteboards. While we are in the lockdown, now is the time to develop the vision and TOM, test it with the new tech, throw bricks at it, make sure the TOM can flex, grow, and adapt over the next years of economic recovery. As this is the last slide before we touch base on benefits realization, I would like to spend a few minutes to summarize the rapid transformation system principles leading to developing company vision, technology-driven target operating model, and transformation into the future state. So clockwise, the key takeaways are: context is everything and informs your vision and target operating model design. Second, make sure everyone in the workforce is engaged in creating the vision and TOM design. Human factors can make or break transformation efforts. Match technology to your concepts and goals to get the best value from your investment in technology. Use processes and systems to guide you through the kaleidoscope of transformation. Know your why and take actions towards it. Rest assured that there is a big win at the end and plenty to celebrate, having a great big party. At this stage, your TOM becomes the new delivery vehicle with benefits realization built into the business processes. That is when your organization will be firing on all cylinders, delivering excellent service to customers. This is where technology starts to play a key role and becomes the enabler delivering your vision. And now you know the choice of BIM, digital twin, IoT, or anything else is academic if it is not considered and built into the target operating model design as an enabler of benefits realization. So what benefits can we get? For example, digital twin can cut down the planning time of shutdowns, fault finding by half. Real-time data flows using IoT give you facts and figures of asset performance over time. That is where AI comes into play to analyze and recognize patterns of asset failures and give you predictive analytics about future expenditure or equipment cost of failure. That way, you can cut down on your maintenance visits and move towards performance and condition-based maintenance approach enhanced by technology. This can lead to setting up new revenue streams by selling on your information net zero efficiency benchmarks. This is when your data becomes commodity and generates profit and benefits from day-to-day efforts. So thank you for tuning in. I decided not to have a Q&A session at the end. I was not sure if you might be having experiential blindness moment and would prefer to let your prefrontal cortex digest the content. I would be delighted to answer all your questions in the Rapid Transformation Hub. This is a free group on LinkedIn where you can access exclusive content and knowledge from our digitally minded ecosystem and source expertise to build your integrated target operating model solutions using BIM, digital twin, Maximo asset management system, or AI technology. The Hub goal this year is to cover subjects like creating vision workshops, basics of TOM design, digital DNA, and thinking styles training, tech that does the heavy lifting for you to deliver net zero and many more. On this note, I would like to wish you a lovely evening, and I can almost guarantee that new ideas will pop in your mind in a couple of days, if not tomorrow. Thank you very much, Gosha Asset Management Systems.